Cooking with Johnny Mac, baby. What, girls?
Not bad.
I've been here since the 70s. Look at those biceps. I just had a jelly donut, by the way. Come on. Cooking with Johnny Mac, baby. My addiction just kind of goes from one category to another. And that's why I'm Johnny Mac. Hola! It's Johnny Peligroso. Sure, what does Peligroso mean? Tell the people. I mean, they don't know. A lot of people, especially the gringos, they don't know. But me...
It means dangerous.
Dangerous, baby. It's Johnny Dangerously. Remember that movie? Anyway, I don't know if many of you know this, but I did spend the summer in Tijuana back in the 80s. And that's where I learned how to, hone my Mexican food. And, I've been eating Mexican food since the 80s, okay? So... Everybody's a big Mexican food expert now here in New York, but they don't know nothing. All right, Johnny Mac's going to show you the proper way to do a nice quesadilla, and then we're going to do a couple of Latin dishes. Next episode is going to be a Mexican fish and chips. I'm going to slice up some nice plantains. We're going to season them up nice. So stay tuned for that, and we're excited. This is going to be a simple dish just to get us rolling, but I do have some beautiful handmade. Flatware from Mexico that just flew in the other day from Amazon. And you know what, Kent? It's Cooking with Johnny Peligroso. We'll be back after this. I like it, I like to have finesse inside. I like it really flat. I don't like it bulky. And, unfortunately, I'm not doing a whole bunch of different sauces like an avocado crema. So I'm just going to feature a little guacamole on top, where I like to spoon the guacamole right on top of the quesadilla and eat it like that. I do like that. I'm going to saute some onions and jalapenos for the center, and I got some charred tomatoes right here just to add a little substance in the middle. And then we got some nice shredded Jack and Cheddar cheese we're going to put in the middle and melt it up. So I'll show you how to do that, and this is a quick one, but this is great for the kids at home, and it's great in a restaurant. Like I said, use a good byproduct. Don't use crap. Use something that's really gonna, taste good, and you're gonna be able to utilize all your, your pieces of stuff. So I'm gonna start doing this now, where I'm gonna just saute some onions and some, just a couple jalapenos. I'm not gonna make it too crazy, but I'm gonna do a couple spices here. And so this way we have a little spice in the middle, and I'm just gonna put a touch of jalapeno, and also I'm gonna paint in a little what do you call it? Chipotle, because I love the smoky flavor of chipotle peppers. Okay guys, so I'm gonna whip up this little guacamole here. If you need the recipe, it's in my library. It's a couple years back, but it's basically kind of, it's not like a standard, but I'm putting a little jalapeno in here, putting some onion in here. I saw Bobby Flay making one last week, 2 weeks ago, and he doesn't like to put tomatoes in there. I mean, we used to put tomatoes in back in the early days. But I'm okay either way with tomatoes or not. I'm not going to put it in today because Bobby might be watching, and he knows I'll kick his ass in a throwdown. I mean, it's just no doubt about that. But I do love Bobby's food. I always did. And talking about Bobby Flay, he's one of those early guys that brought Latin flavors to New York a long time ago. He used to have a restaurant called Bolo. It was Spanish influence, and I loved it. I used to go all the time. Back then, my girlfriends were beautiful. You got to see what's calling me these days, man. Whoa. Jeez. I must be like brutal online. I don't know, man. I got nothing going on. As they say in Spanish, yo tengo nada. I got nothing, baby.
Yo tengo nada.
Yo tengo nada!
Yo tengo nada.
Yo tengo nada! Sean thinks he knows more Spanish than me. Come on, man. Come on, man. Shorty Love is in the house. Rocco's here. We're making quesadillas, baby. Back to selling food tomorrow, but I do want to, give a shout out, and it's a series, and I want Sean to leave this in because it's important. We had a general sales meeting a couple weeks ago at Performance Food Service, and I really don't want to mention the brands just in case they get upset, but, they need to monitor that. But I do want to give a shout out to Pepe Torres. Pepe Torres is our national director for Latin food and performance food. And man, he knows his stuff, and he really inspired me now because, a lot of people don't know, my past, and, I did go to Mexico many times in San Diego. When I lived in San Diego, I used to go over the border and eat their food, and, I fell in love with it immediately. So shout out to Pepe. I'm going to tag you on the video, and, thanks for sharing your knowledge. You see this right here? We want to live in a charred world. Everything just tastes better a little charred, and that's been going back for years. Charred pizza, charred onions, charred tomatoes. I don't know if it's cancerous, but it's charred.
Go.
Hey, Sean, I don't know if I ever told you guys, but I went to the Culinary Institute, and that was big for me because I was a bad student. I went to PS 84 in Queens. Enough said, there's only 2 superstars that came out of that school. One's Frank Stiles. Shout out to Dr. Frank, and shout out to Chris Peter, but the rest of us were just a bunch of hooligans. Low GP, what do you call that? GPA score, anyway. So I went to the Culinary Institute, and, I'd say, hey, I try to slip in college if I was around girls or whatever, and there was always one jerk that would say, well, Johnny Mark, that's not really a college, it's a cooking school. Well, fuck off, man. Alright, so this is what I like to do. I like to trim it up a little bit, right? I hate any grizzle in any meat. It's just disgusting. I gotta give Rocco a piece. Rock. Now he's starting to shed up. Give him one more. Okay, alright, so. See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Nice and thin. That's how you want it. You don't want anything bigger than that in a steak quesadilla. Don't listen to anybody, listen to me. I've eaten more tacos and quesadillas than any Mexican folk, white folk, in the history of the United States and Mexico. That's why they call me Johnny Peligroso. Johnny Peligroso. Okay. Hey, this looks like enough. I think this is going to come out really nice. This is going to be my mix for the quesadillas. So I just, like I said, I grilled a couple of tomatoes, I sliced some jalapenos, I charred a few onions, and it's going to eat nice. It's going to be a nice little dish. Cook it with Johnny Mac. What do you like better? Cook it with Johnny Peligroso? Maybe I'll fly down to Mexico, and I'll just start a whole new show down there.
Do you speak any Spanish?
I speak poquito. Poquito is a poquito, a pequeño, or poquito. Pequeño is small, right?
Poquito.
Poquito.
Yeah.
I always knew, I worked with a lot of Spanish guys. That's why when everybody's beating up the migrants, man, I love those guys. I worked in the kitchen with them for years. And I don't want to talk about my days in Roosevelt Island. Roosevelt Avenue? Back that up. Roosevelt Island has nothing to do with my days in Roosevelt Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
We'll talk about that next episode.
Hola mi gente, estamos aquí cocinando, soy Johnny Peligroso. Y si no me sigues en Instagram y TikTok, te mato, ¿ok? Y te mato con este cuchillo, sí, pero también voy a meter esto en el culo. Y para agregar un poco más calor, voy a meter esta botella en el culo también.
Welcome back to the show. It's Cooking with Johnny Peligroso, and I'd be remiss if I didn't do this. Amigas! ¿Qué pasa, amigas? I was gonna buzz up some nice Chipotle peppers, but that's a tricky item, man. That could go bad on you. That could turn around on you. So we're gonna save that for another episode. That same can. And Sean said, let's utilize the Sir Kensington Chipotle mayo. So I'm just gonna put a little in here, just to get that smoky flavor. Okay? Never mind that sound. Okay? So this is what I like to do, right? I'm going to just spread a little of this on. And what I like to do, and you don't see this all the time, but people, when they make quesadillas, they put another one on top. I hate that, because then the stuff falls out. And the reason why I do this is I do the half because it just stays nicer. So it's like a half moon when you put it on, right? So here you go. So I'm gonna put the cheese on, right? I'm gonna put some steak in here. Okay. And that's it. And then I'm gonna put the onion mix, the onion tomato mix, which looks great actually. So that's all I'm doing right here. I'm not gonna put anything else in here. And I'm gonna press it down. So what I do, folks, is I like to put butter on it. You could put oil, and I'm sure back in the heyday in Mexico or whatever, I don't even know quesadillas are really that Mexican. I don't know if we kind of made it up a little. I didn't do enough research, but I like to spread butter. I used to actually put a compound butter with chili in it, but being that I make my French toast on this, I didn't want to do that. So what you want is, again, it's just like a grilled cheese, man. You want to push it down, and I'm just going to leave it there. And you want it crispy. That's how you do it. It's a nice plate, by the way.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Couple good songs.
It might take a little longer because I have to record myself.
Oh, fuck.
It might.